Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's tutorial we are going to be learning how to cut and sew this detachable yoke blouse. If this is something that you are interested in, make sure that you watch this video to the end. And with no further ado, let's get into the video and start learning. So this is the fabric I'm going to be making use of for the detachable blouse, and I'm going to be drafting directly on the fabric. I also have my scissors here, my ruler, my tape rule, and my chalk. So the first thing is to fold your fabric into two like this. So I'm going to be drafting on the wrong side of this fabric, and that folded part is going to serve as the middle. Now from the top of this fabric, I'm going to be drawing a straight line first, which is going to serve as the shoulder line. Then from that shoulder line, I'll take the measurement of my bust point. So the bust point I'm working with is 12 inches. I'm making this for a client and a bust point is at 12 inches. So from that shoulder, I'm going to measure 12 inches and I'll mark it, and I'm also going to use my ruler to connect it with a straight line. Then after this, I'm also going to place the chest line. For my client, our chest line is at 9 inches. It's also called the armhole line. So I'm measuring 9 inches from the shoulder line downward. So to get your chest line, you can just divide your bust circumference by 6 and add 2 inches to that. Then the last line that I'm going to be drawing is the full length of this detachable blouse. So the full length that I'm using is 15 inches and I added up an inch to that for joining. Then I'm going to draw a straight line across like that. Then on the shoulder line, I'm going to be placing a shoulder measurement divided by 2, as is 17 inches. That divided by 2 will give me 8.5, and I place that on the shoulder line and also on the chest line. Then I will connect those 2 points together to form a straight line. Now on the neck depth and the neck width, I'm going to be using 3 inches for the depth and also 3 inches for the width of the neck. Then I'm going to connect together to form a curve for the neck. Then on this straight line here, I'm going to come down by 1 inch and connect to the neck with a slant to form the shoulder slope. Now I'm going to be taking the measurement I have here, divide that into 2 and mark it to get the midpoint, and I'm going to be coming in by half of an inch. Then I'll place the measurement of the bust circumference divided by 4 on the chest line, and I'll connect those 3 points together to form the armhole curve, as you can see. So I'm going to be adding an allowance of 1.5 inch to that. Then on the other lines, I'm also going to place whatever measurements that I have on the chest line on them also. So whatever I have on the chest line, that's what I placed on the full length line. So I just connected those lines together and we are basically done with the front pattern. So this is the front pattern. I'm going to be cutting it out and I will use it to also cut the back pattern out. So at the shoulder area here, I'm going to be adding half an inch for joining. So this is the front and I placed it on another fabric on fold for the back. So I'm going to be adding a zipper allowance of 1.5 inch. That's what I just measured out there. Then for the neckline, I'm going to be using 1.5 neck depth and the neck width is going to remain the same. So that's just the only difference of the front and the back. So I'm just cutting out the back pattern. As you can see, the only difference is in the zipper allowance and also the neck depth. So I'm just splitting up the zipper allowance area for the back. Now to get that curved opening that is in front, on this side of the blouse, the end part of the blouse, I'm going to be taking in the allowance that is already on this place, which is 1.5 inch, and I will add half inch to that, which is 2 inches. Then from the neckline, I will come down by about 3.5 inches. Then I will form an arc to meet that 2 inches. So if you want the line between your neck and the opening to be thinner, you can make yours like 2 inches. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut that out, and this is what I have at the end of the day. Now to cut out the sleeve for this blouse is going to be a bell sleeve. So I folded my fabric into 4 and I'll create a line first on the top of the fabric. Then I'll come down by about 4.5 inch or 4 inches. Then I'll create a curve for the armhole and I'll measure what I have on the armhole of the blouse, then measure it on that curve that I created now to make sure it's the same. I'll mark that. then I'll measure the full length that I want the bell sleeve to be. So I'm just marking my full length and drawing a straight line across. Then I'll draw from the end of the cuff to meet the straight line down there. So that's just basically all for the drafting of the bell sleeve. So I'm just cutting this out just the way it is, like this, and on this edge here I will come up by 1 inch and I will just curve it in to give it shape. So I've gone ahead to cut out lining pieces for both the front and the back, and I'm going to be fixing the lining now. So placing the lining on the right side of the fabric like this, I'm going to go ahead and sew the neck area, that curved area, and also the sides. I'll sew the side too, all with half an inch allowance. Then I'm going to be turning this over through the armhole and the shoulder. So just sew the neck, the side, and the curved area. Then for the back too, I'm going to be arranging it accordingly and showing you where to sew also. So I'm placing the fabric on the right side. I'm placing the lining rather on the right side of the fabric. Then I will sew the zip area, the neckline, the down part, and also the side. Then I will turn using the armhole area. So when I was done sewing and I turned it, this is what I have for the front and the back. So the next thing now is to fix my zipper on the back, and I'm using this zipper that you can open it all through. They call it old school, some people call it old school, I don't know what you call it, but you can open it all the way. So I'm going to be fixing this zipper on the back. So after I was done, this is what it looks like. So this is what I mean when you open up the zipper like this, you can separate it and you fix it back, so it will make it easy to wear this top at the end of the day. So the next thing is just to join the front and the back together, place it right sides facing each other like this. Then you go ahead and work on the shoulder. So you place it together right sides facing each other, lining to lining and main fabric to main fabric like this. Then you go ahead and sew with half an inch on the sewing machine. So just place it together like this, lining to the lining, main fabric to main fabric, and sew with half an inch. When I was done, this is what it looks like. So can you see how neat this is? Now the next thing is to add the sleeve. So I have my 2 sleeves here, and I'm going to be placing it right side facing the main fabric. Then I've noted the midpoint of my sleeve. I'm going to be placing it on the midpoint of that shoulder where the joining is, and I'll pin it all the way around the sleeve, just like you see me doing it like this. I'm going to pin it all the way around the sleeve, and I'll head ahead to the sewing machine and sew this with half an inch, and I'll also do the same thing on the other parts of the sleeve. So after I was done, this is what I have. So can you see how nice and neat this is looking? Then the next thing is just to finish this up and sew the sides all the way, starting from the sleeve to the bodies of this blouse. So I'm just going to be sewing with the allowance we have, which is 1.5 inch, all the way from the sleeve to the body area. So I'm just going to do this on both sides, and I'm going to turn the blouse to the right side. So when I turned it, this is what it looks like. We're already done with the making of this detachable yoke blouse, and you can see how really nice and beautiful this is. So if you found this tutorial helpful so far, kindly give it a thumbs up, drop a comment, share to others, and don't also forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and turn on your notification bell so that you'll be the first to be notified when I drop helpful tutorials like this. See you in my next tutorial. Bye.